Hello and welcome to episode number 3 of the Sharp Fit for Life podcast. And today we're talking about the core. Now, when we're talking about the core, we're not talking about the planet core or anything else. We're actually talking about your core. And as normal, I'm joined by the amazing Dominic Furness, who's on location down in somewhere else.
Worcester. Oh, you nearly forgot.
I didn't forget. I didn't know whether you would never know that. But anyway, I didn't know whether you're a secret squirrel.
I don't think they'll be able to find me. Good luck, guys.
It's a bit like Where's Wally? Is that what we're trying to say? You kind of pin
if I had a stripy jumper on.
Absolutely. Sounds
and
like
a few specs.
So, the core. What do you actually know about the core? Come on, talk to me, mate.
Well, I thought it was like just your stomach, really. But you had a different perspective on that. So if you could explain again, that'd be great. Please.
Absolutely. So it is. It's quite amazing when you actually speak to anybody and say, "What are your core muscles?" The first thing people think about is their abs, isn't it? You know, it's kind of like that classic view of somebody who's got like 6-pack abs and stuff. It's meant to be really good, really strong core. But the kind of thing is, that's just the sheath. That's kind of on the front of the abdominal muscles, the abdominis rectus. Your core muscles are actually made up of a whole variety of things that are kind of there to keep you stable. And the stronger you can make your core, then the better you are at performing any kind of function. I'm not just talking about exercise either. We're talking about what you can do in everyday life. It gets rid of things like aches and pains. It really is such a fantastic, phenomenal set of muscles that most people don't even think about.
So, can you have a strong core without having a 6-pack, though? That is my question.
Yeah, definitely beyond the measure of a doubt. Because 6-packs are kind of an interesting thing. Because part of it is obviously to do with how much body fat you've got, so that you're actually showing the kind of membranes on the front of the sheath. The other part of that then is genetics, because some people, you notice, have got 6-packs, some people got 4-packs, some people got 8-packs.
Oh, that's just to do. I'm going to interrupt you.
Yeah.
How can you have an 8-pack?
It's just to do with the way that the sheath is over the top of the muscle.
But does everybody have? Oh, you're showing me fingers. Does everybody have 8, but you can only see 6, or does people actually have 6 or 4 or 8?
No, some people have 6, some people have 4, some people have 8, some people have more. In fact, some people have them off center, so they're not all aligned, and they're all perfectly normal because it's just how your body kind of keeps the top.
Can you have an odd number?
I honestly don't know. I wouldn't guess you could, but maybe that's something to Google. That's definitely something to add into the comments, guys, if you know the answer to that question.
Oh, yeah,
if you really do want the answer to the question, I will go and find you the answer as well. So again, let me know, and I can go and find that answer out. It's not one I know off the top of my head. But yeah, I mean, that's just all genetics at the end of the day. So it's not a case of just being able to crunch your way to a fantastic ab pack. You know, there's lots of other kind of things that go into to make that. But have you noticed, for example, with guys and gals, that you sometimes find they've got that triangular shape that goes towards the bottom of their core muscles?
I don't tend to look.
Okay.
What, as in like a sand glass thing?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's like
you can buy a belt for that, I'm pretty sure.
You can buy a belt for that. Talk about finding the cheating way of doing things. And here we are talking about how to make it work for you, and you're coming out with a belt. Love it. But no, you see, a lot of people, you've got this kind of nice triangular shape at the bottom of the kind of abdominal area. And that's kind of a really good sign of actually some good core muscles going on.
Oh, I know what you mean now.
Yeah, you got it?
I got you.
Because your core muscles, you've got obviously the things that are around your stomach area, which are there to like protect your internal organs and kind of, as I say, it's that core functionality of pulling everything together. It's where all your levers, your arms and your legs kind of hang off it, which is quite important. But yeah, you've got your transverse abdominis, you've got obliques, you've got your rectus spina, you've got then you've got other muscles that kind of contribute to it, like your glutes and your quads and your lats. So all these kind of big muscle groups are all part of your core, the parts of what make you really stable, which is kind of why just crunching your way or doing sit-ups all the time isn't necessarily going to give you a really strong core.
Right, so how would you work on getting... surely they help contribute to having a strong core, though?
Well, not really, because again, they're just targeting the abdominis rectus. That's all you're doing, effectively.
So what about like pull-ups? Because that's upper body strength.
Yeah. So that'll help with things like your lats and stuff. But again, any kind of big kind of compound movements are really going to assist. So things like your deadlifts and your squats, etc., they're all going to assist. Anything that's kind of engaging your core in kind of big rotational movements as well, or something where you're trying to stop yourself from rotating, those are all going to help. So, for example, the classic one that everyone does is a plank, isn't it? Where you've kind of got to stop yourself from moving. But if you want to kind of make that a little bit more interesting and probably a little bit more active for your core, then what you could do is you can go into planks where you do groups like gorilla planks, where you're going onto your elbows, onto your hands, onto your elbows, onto your hands, or you move it so that you do shoulder taps. So again, you're moving that, or you do hip dips and things. So again, you're bringing in more of that instability, because the more instability you bring into your exercise, the more your core has to work. So that's where, again, other bits of equipment can come in handy as well. But all comes back to what's your goals. I mean, if your goal is to have six-pack abs, then that's it. You're on broccoli and celery for life, and keep those crunches up, mate. But if you want to have a really strong core that kind of helps support you in whatever you're going to be doing, you need to bring some other kind of muscle groups into it.
So one thing that I found made my core feel very strong was doing backflips all the time. Would that give you a strong core? Because it felt like it was all in the flipping stomach. Like, it isn't, but it felt like that.
Yeah, but you've got to have it all there, because that's where you're effectively, your rest of your body is acting like a coiled spring. You're kind of unleashing that, making your body then flip over, which means you're having to manipulate all those kind of core muscles and then lose.
Yeah, but you got to bring it all back in after as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I mean, you've got that, for example, which you know lots about, bouncing around and twisting and turning all over the place. Then you've got things like, for example, the tricks you've been doing on skates and on the BMX, etc. Skateboarding, sorry, skates, where'd that come from? Skateboarding and BMX. So those kind of things really going to need to engage your core, and I bet you feel it. When you've had one of those days where you can't be really bothered and you're kind of just really lethargically doing something, and you're not engaging your core, you're not really putting anything into it, you probably just don't do the tricks, do you? Right?
Not with skateboarding, but with other sports, yeah. I feel like skateboarding is just your legs, but just BMXing definitely.
Yeah,
that needs.
Whereas when you put the core into it and you really engage and stuff, I bet you can. Well, I know you can perform absolutely fantastic stunts. So it's nothing new there.
Needed.
And that's the same. Yeah, it's the same when you see people in the gym and things. For example, you might see somebody, I don't know, doing tricep pull downs or something. And you can tell the difference between those people that are really. That's right, with the ropes, you're kind of pulling it down. Yeah. Keeping your arms nice and stable. You're only moving from the forearm down, so you're only engaging your triceps. But watch some people's posture when they're there. A lot of people are rocking backwards and forwards. They're kind of not engaging the core, so they're kind of throwing everything into it and stuff. Whereas actually, if you've got your core nice and engaged, you've got it tight, you're really just moving with your triceps and keeping that nice and slow, you're going to do benefit not just for your tricep muscles, which are going to then progress magnificently well because you're targeting them, but also you're going to be doing a fantastic workout for your core at the same time because you've got it engaged.
I half understand that, because I thought the reason you got to stay still is so you're not like taking the weight off your triceps.
Well, that's part of it.
You're not swinging it, because people swing into bicep curls, and that's not really using your bicep anymore.
That's right. You're using momentum. You're meant to be using shoulders at that point, potentially. All sorts of. I mean, yeah, you see the absolute gorillas in the gym some days and just throwing the weights around like nobody's business. They're going to put somebody's eye out if they're not careful. But yeah, if you've got that nice strong core that stabilizes, then straight away you're working your core at that point in time because you've got it nice and tight. But you're also then working your biceps or triceps, whatever muscle group you're specifically targeting, because you're no longer allowing your body to move. You're no longer giving it the momentum. You're no longer allowing it to cheat. Now, sometimes you might want it to cheat, but then it becomes your choice as to, at what point you're going to do that. So, for example, if you're getting towards the final reps of your final set, then what you might want to do is say, okay, I'm going to take it beyond failure. So beyond form failure. So it goes, you've done the absolute perfect, you've done your best, and you're just going to go a little bit further, just to kind of give it that little bit more effort. And then that way, again, sometimes that's how you can make your muscles develop a little bit more.
Smart. So what about throw one at you here. What about posture? Does everyday posture affect your core or not? Do you know, or has that got nothing to do with it at all?
It's opposite around, so your core affects your everyday posture. And can you imagine? I mean, it's classic. I mean, when you look at people that work in offices, for example, like I do, a lot of people are kind of hunched over desks, etc. And over time, effectively, what happens is it means that their muscles in the back, etc., start to curve in that way. They don't normally would sit up straight. They don't tighten themselves. Everything comes a bit loose in wrong places. They start to get backache, probably down in the lower part of the spine and stuff. It starts to hurt a little bit when they start walking and things. And also, it makes them look like they're more downtrodden, and that actually makes them feel like that. So there is a real big mental health kind of linkage between how you present yourself and your posture, etc., and how you actually feel. So by improving your core strength, you'll straight away start to sit up more straighter. You'll start to feel more alert. Those things like the back pains, etc., start to diminish. But because of all that, your mental health also starts to improve as well, because you start feeling better.
That's crazy that it's got that sort of domino effect to it.
It is. It's absolutely fantastic. And all just by working your core. It's just fantastic.
So posture and core do have a link?
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I'm sure. Good to know. I'll start
Excellent.
sitting on church pews more often.
I'm entirely sure that's exactly what you need to do. But I'm pretty sure with the amount of exercise you do and what you're doing to kind of help strengthen your back and things, you'll be fine anyway. But as you get older, just make sure you maintain it. You don't want to be remember what I was like 5 years ago. I was struggling to get out of bed some days because it was in so much pain, popping pills like nobody's business, and just try and get rid of the pain. Nowadays, now I'm actually working out better. It's gone, much better.
Yeah, I mean, I don't trust paracetamol. That's a different story.
Yeah. I think there's a whole different episode there. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, well, there's a whole thing about non-opioid type painkillers such as paracetamol and ibuprofen and things, and how that can affect your exercising and your routines and things. So yeah, there's probably a whole conversation we can have about that at some point.
I could talk for too long about that, honestly.
You could talk for too long.
But let's save that for a special episode.
Excellent. We'll save that for a special episode. Day when you've had far too much pain.
Yes.
Excellent. Right. Well, any other questions?
Not for today.
Okay, guys. So any questions that you guys have about the core, etc., just drop them in the comments below. We'll quite happily answer them. And where we don't know the answer, we'll certainly go and find it. We have a nice network of amazing people that we can call on to get the right kind of information to us. And yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see you next Monday. Just check out our YouTube page. It's just Sharp Fit for Life. You'll see it in the outro at the end of the video. We're also on... are we on Spotify yet?
Yes, we're on Spotify. Yeah.
Yay.
And Apple podcasty thing and all sorts.
Yeah, I've seen that. So I've got YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Facebook Live. So yeah, go check them out and we'll see you next Monday.
Excellent. All right, in which case, bye-bye for now. Thank you.